So hello to everyone. My name is Julia Piesbuchheit. I am the coordinator of the project IP4S, which this is one of the deepening modules of. So for you to know, IP4S promotes a new approach to knowledge valorization, which turns research outputs, or which we try to turn research outputs into sustainable products and solutions so that we can pave the way towards more economic, but also, of course, environmental benefits and social progress. We believe in the project that the European institutions can create maximum value in their research processes when they align open science principles, something like sharing, reuse, and collaboration, with appropriate intellectual property strategies. But that is a bit difficult. So we started 1 year ago and we tried to find fitting ways to combine intellectual property strategies with these open science principles. So today we are concentrating on research data. Research data that is prepared and managed in a way that enables circulation and reuse while annotated with adequate licenses or protected when there is an appropriate need is the backbone of reliable and efficient research. So with this session, we dive deeper into the role of data stewards, who play a central part in translating open science objectives into everyday research practice. Data stewards and managers work closely with researchers, of course, and other stakeholders to govern and contextualize and enable the responsible use and reuse of research data. So we are very happy that they support decision-making on data openness, facilitate data usability and accessibility. And from our perspective from IP4S, data stewards are key actors in a concerted IPOS approach as they help navigate informed choices regarding data and ensure, of course, the openness and intellectual property considerations, which are aligned rather than in conflict. So I'm very happy that we have experts here in this room who can show us more on this topic. So I welcome from my heart Clara Boavida, and she will give us an example from her work and the reality she is in.
Hello, everyone. This example from professional practice illustrates support for research teams across the full research data lifecycle, with a strong focus on aligning intellectual property with open science principles. The work involves close collaboration with researchers to improve the accessibility and reuse of research data while ensuring legal and ethical compliance. When projects include personal or sensitive data, support begins early, helping researchers plan data collection, processing, protection, and eventually sharing. This includes advice on informed consent, GDPR-compliant tools, anonymization, and access conditions. For example, at the planning stage, researchers are assisted in developing data management plans that define what data can be shared openly, anonymized, or restricted. The focus during data collection and processing is on secure infrastructure and good storage practices. In the preservation phase, the priority is the documentation and metadata for repository publication. This work is, of course, delivered in collaboration with ethics, IT, legal, data protection, and library services, promoting an IP open access and open science approach that enables responsible and high-quality data sharing.
Thank you very much, Clara, for outlining what you are doing in Lisbon as a data steward and how you combine your intellectual property in the data process and open science principles. So we can see that there is a cross-role collaboration, because you also mentioned with whom you work, which is, I think, very important to keep in mind. So we have another expert with us, who is Chiara Bassalti from Italy, and she will highlight a coordinated and multidisciplinary approach which enables research teams to make informed decisions throughout the data lifecycle they're working with. So welcome to you. I'm happy that you could be here today.
Hello, everyone. I'm the coordinator of the data steward team at the University of Bologna. Together with other experts, we support researchers in managing their data in a responsible way. Over time, we have learned that the most effective support comes from integrating different areas of expertise. This integrated approach helps researchers ask the right question at the right moment in their data workflow, avoiding the risk of working as a silos, fragmenting the overall process. To address this, we developed a decision tree that brings together intellectual property, privacy, ethics, and data management considerations to encourage researchers to reflect on what happens before data is collected or generated and on how data will be shared, preserved, and reused in the long term. This integrated method is especially effective in high technology readiness level projects and in the industry-driven European research projects, where teams must both maximize the impact of their results and comply with open access requirements in their grant agreements. Maintaining this balance starts with helping research teams make informed choices that do not compromise either objective. The data management plan plays a key role. It helps map the data journey, identify critical points, and plan interventions at the right time, as well as involving experts where needed. We have tasted this approach over the past 3 years with quite positive results. As the security becomes increasingly important, we have now integrated these aspects as well, fully aligning with the European Commission's message, as open as possible, as secure as necessary.
Thank you, Chiara, for this wonderful example, which showed us how you work in your institution. So this is really interesting to see that you support your researchers with this decision tree in your institution through the whole process. We have another expert with us, which I'm very happy that he's here. His name is Daniel Mietjen, and he is a data architect, and he will sketch out how the different groups of data professionals contribute actually to the research data ecosystem. So, Daniel, the floor is yours.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm working at FIZ Karlsruhe, the Leibniz Institute for Information Infrastructures. There, my focus is on enabling data-centric open collaboration at scale through systems that bring humans and machines together. Data architects define the structure of data with special emphasis on interoperability between and across different parts of the research data ecosystem, especially through metadata standards. This means that they ensure that data coming into and out of a given research project can be combined with other data in meaningful, standard compliant, and also ideally automatable ways. This is similar to how an architect pays attention to the context into which a new building is to be placed, which building materials are available, and which building codes need to be followed. For the data architects, the building materials are data types and identifiers, ontologies, and database systems, and the building codes correspond to things like data standards, file formats, and licensing requirements. If needed, then data ethicists can be brought in to handle ethical aspects of the project. And on that basis, data engineers can then implement the actual workflows that put the architecture and ethical frameworks into practice and enable data to be harvested from various places, to be combined and processed, such that they can actually inform the research. The data manager then assists the researcher in ensuring that those workflows are being run according to the specifications, for instance, that specific files have the appropriate names, locations, and permission settings, and that suitable backup procedures are in place and actually followed. The data stewards then shine light on the quality of data and metadata, as well as on whether and how they can or should be shared, for instance, according to institutional or funder requirements. The quality of data and metadata are also central to the work of data curators, who catalog potential or actual connections or inconsistencies between different data sets or data points. And once the data, or at least their metadata, have been shared, then the data scientists can come in and analyze the data. And this can potentially start a new data life cycles. All these different roles, they're sometimes fulfilled by an individual person, all of them, or some of them, several of them. And sometimes each of these individual roles can actually be split amongst multiple people. And so this shows the diverse ways in which data stewardship can be handled.
very interesting to listen to all of you. So I think we could see a quite broad field of what data stewardship is, yeah, from Clara's explanation on what she is doing in Lisbon to Chiara's institutional approach, and then Daniel showing us like which different tasks and even professions, I guess, are in the data stewardship or in the data architecture, by following up the life cycle of research data and then even going into new projects. So thank you very much from our side that you could explain to us how, in your case, intellectual property rights, but also management and tools combine with open science principles. And as we heard in this very complex life and professional circle you're doing, there are several different steps where you always have to decide, okay, how open, yeah, how closed am I going to organize the data? And here, of course, intellectual property rights play a main role.